of his 8-year-old daughter. Cledir Barros made his first court appearance just moments ago. He faces charges of murder in the second degree and cruelty to a child. His court appearance comes just one day after the girl's stepmother faced a judge. According to an arrest warrant, 34-year-old Natiala Barros was angry when she beat the child to death with a wooden rolling pin. Afterwards, investigators say she called her husband, but she never dialed 911. She faces charges of felony murder, malice murder, cruelty to children, and aggravated assault.
Natalia Barros, 34, is accused of beating Saya Barros to death at their Bethlehem home the morning of January 30th, and then calling a priest instead of calling 911. Her husband, Cledir Barros, 37, is accused of praying over the unconscious child for up to 20 minutes before calling for help. According to prosecutors, Natalia Barros was angry with Saya for playing with her toast during breakfast instead of doing her schoolwork. She'd already given the child a spanking, so when the stepmother noticed Saya wasn't on task, she went to the kitchen, pulled out the rolling pin, and started beating the girl, officials stated. Saya was hit between 10 and 20 times, investigators noted. Most of the blows were to the base of her neck, but she had been hit all over her body, authorities stated. These defendants were supposed to protect and care for Saya. The parents' primary responsibility was just to do that. According to records from Georgia Department of Family and Children Services, Cledir Barros said his daughter had two personalities and was causing a problem within his marriage due to the child being born out of wedlock. While talking to investigators, he said Saya would steal and refer to her as a demon, while admitting that the stepmother loses her cool and discipline the child inappropriately, causing bruises. DFACS investigates all child abuse deaths. There are no records that DCF was involved prior to January the 30th. Saya had been pulled out of school due to alleged behavioral issues and was being homeschooled, social workers noted in the case file. She'd been born after the couple had separated, but they eventually reunited and had 2 additional children, investigators added. According to records, all of the children received a regular beating, but Saya was the only one homeschooled. Saya didn't die immediately after the beatings, according to DCF. She asked Natalia Barros to use the bathroom, but was not allowed. Ultimately, she soiled herself. She then told her stepmother that she didn't feel well before she started to turn white and lost consciousness during an investigative report. But instead of calling 911, Natalia Barros called her husband, who was working in our home at the time, officials said. Instead of telling her to call 911, Cledir Barros told his wife to pray and everything will be okay. Natalia Barros then called 2 Nigerian priests. According to DCF, when her husband arrived, he prayed over the unconscious Saya for about 10 to 20 minutes before they called 911, prosecutors stated. According to DCF, Cledir Barros informed the detectives that he was aware that medical attention should have been called, but informed the stepmother to pray instead. No child deserves this treatment. Saya was exposed to, and no one should ever have to endure being abused. That's what authorities stated. The couple were indicted Thursday. Natalia Barros is charged with malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, as well as aggravated assault and first-degree cruelty to children, while Cledir Barros is charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of second-degree cruelty to children. Right now, the couple are being held in Gwinnett County Jail without bond.
New at noon, a Lawrenceville couple accused of killing an 8-year-old girl and waiting to call 911 was indicted by a grand jury this morning. Gwinnett police say 34-year-old Natalia Barros beat her stepdaughter Saya Barros with a wooden rolling pin between 10 and 20 times back in January. They say that the young girl's father, 37-year-old Cledir Barros, returned home. He prayed over the child's body before calling 911 minutes later. Well, right now, the parents are being held in Gwinnett County Jail without bond.
You guys, this is a bad situation. You have where the father referred to his child as being a demon because she was born out of wedlock. No, let's just call it what it is. He stepped out on his wife, or was separated from his wife, and during the time of the separation, of course he was with someone else because that's how the child was born. And when they decided to get back together, it is my belief that the wife was still upset. She was upset in regards to the infidelity and took it out on the child. And yes, they're saying that she was abusive to the other children, but yet she did not homeschool those other child. This child had no outlet. You know, sometimes certain kids will endure so much at home that school would be an outlet. They would look forward to going to school because they get out of the house from all of the abuse that is going on. And I just wish at the time that they had certain social workers in place and could potentially ask the young lady, like, why are you acting out? Why are you doing this? Like certain therapy or recommended, not even recommended, told her, okay, she needs to go to therapy. We have to do an evaluation. And then maybe some stuff would have come out and the child could have been saved. But yet she had to just endure this. And it don't appear that she had support from her father. He just looked at her as, she's a demon child. I had her at a wedlock. This is my payback. This is overall sad because this child at the tender age of 8, I'm wondering, like, where was the mother? Where is the mom at? So to me it appears that the mother gave custody to the father and say, you know, you're in a better situation. You have a marriage. You have a steady, a home. She'll be safe over there, to actually release her to the wolves. And the irony of this all is that they're in a community called Bethlehem. Like, really? And then for the other priests to pray over her as well, did they not? They should have at least said, no, we need to call authorities. Something needs to be done. So I will be keeping a close eye on this case. I'm curious to the testimony from the other priests, because I'm quite sure they're probably going to have to pull them in either as witnesses, and if not witnesses, accomplices in this situation. They had enough time to get this young lady some help. And what's sad is that although DFACS was not called to the house until the 30th, there are several cases where potential child abuse just don't go noticed. They get comfortable. They find ways to cover it up. Overall, you guys, this is a very sad situation. This child was preyed upon, and not preyed as in P-R-A-Y. P-R-E-Y. She was not protected. She was just kind of left out here in the wolves, in the world by herself, because it don't seem as if she had the support of others around her. She would be abused, and they would think prayer would fix the abuse. You guys, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts to this situation? Do you think that it was out of the father's hand to protect the child? Do you think that possibly the stepmother resented the child? Do you think that it was just a norm for the mother to just beat on the kids? Because they definitely said she gave her share of handouts of whippings to all of her children. Do you think that with Saya it was just more excessive due to the circumstance and or the situation? What are your thoughts? You guys, let's get the conversation going down in the comment section below. I thank you guys for listening in to Karen Classified. Again, I had to change the name because someone had the other name that I was using. So moving forward, it is Karen Classified. And I just appreciate you guys going on this journey with me. Again, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down in the section below. And until the next video, you guys, be safe and take care.